Yo. How are you guys? Domo, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the sub. Do I sound okay? Is the audio alright? Thank you, Ari. Thank you, Clayton. Okay, Shelf. There's a lot of stuff going on. Y'all don't even see the painting. It's a gorilla. Too low? It should sound better now, no? This is like pretty high gain. What's in the frame? It's a gorilla. Maybe I can angle the camera up a little bit. It's a gorilla sipping like a mojito or something. It's pretty cool. IMO. Your taste astounds me. I hear that a lot. So are we watching the debate live? Is that what's happening as well? On top of all the things. I got a PowerPoint today. I'm ready to go. How do you decide what gets to be on the wall? If it's something I could hang, I put it on the wall. Ned says no. We can watch the Australian debate later if it makes you feel better. We don't have to do that. Tom, you might want to leave for this segment. There's no way it could be that low. Like, the gain is hella high, y'all. Like, there's no way. I'd simply refuse to believe it. Yeah, I watched most of the debate. Good day to be Canadian? Yeah. I suppose. So, I watched most of the debate. Look, I think Kamala Harris is very much being an establishment Democrat, but Trump is, like, much worse than he used to be. Like, Trump is off his rocker. Even more so than he was before. He's just panicking. Like, he's old and he's not responding to things well, and he's always just going back to immigration, which is like a good dog whistle for his base, but like it's just not. It doesn't feel natural. It feels like he doesn't know what to say, so he says the one thing he knows. Can you imagine Trump on Big Brother? I think Trump would maybe get evicted immediately, or he'd get to the final 3 or 2 in the Angela spot, you know? Thank you, JPR, for the gift. How are you? A Vandy rebuild in College Football 25. It's not going well. It never does. Trump lost his fastball. Look, I'll tell you what. If he was against Biden, he'd be winning this debate. I'll tell you that much. Trump never had a fastball. Here's the thing about Trump. I don't think he was ever good at presidential debates, but I do think he used to be a really good speaker. Vandy is 2-0, yeah. He used to be a very good public speaker. Obviously, I wouldn't like his speeches, but that was a talent of his that he had over most politicians. I think he's lost that talent. I am still going to law school. I'm studying for the LSAT. Taking it early October. And I think there's this like confusion of like the moderators are pushing back on Trump more than they are on Kamala, but they have to fact check Trump more than Kamala because he just the lies he tells are egregious enough that it's their journalistic responsibility to point them out. Kamala lies too? Absolutely she does. But the weight of these lies are different. Like, I don't think it's their responsibility to say, Miss Harris, you did in fact say that you would do this when in fact you did this, versus Trump being like, hospitals kill babies after they're born. Like, you know what I mean? I think the gravity of these things are a little bit different. I could probably show the debate on screen, right? It's like on Twitter streaming. I assume I can.
aggression from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty, their democracy, that it's in America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin wins, he may be emboldened to move even further into other countries. You have said you would solve this war in 24 hours. You said so just before the break tonight. How exactly would you do that? And I want to ask you a very simple question tonight. Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being used.
It's my favorite thing in debates. I'm going to give you a yes or no question. I want you to answer yes or no. Do you like the color yellow? The thing about the color yellow,
which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO.
I think I would smoke both these people in like a debate from your perspective, but I would be really bad at presidential debates because I'm way too incendiary. Like I would alienate a lot of voters, I think, by like actually answering questions, which is not what debates are for. Debates are for just, at this point, it's just political theater. But, you know.
And I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin. Hasn't spoken to anybody.
You're too honest,
They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, what
I will say, like, I'm very much of the mind of I don't need Republican friends. Maybe that's harsh. I don't need friends who would vote for Trump. You know what I mean? I think that's a line for me. Because I think the Republican thing is different. Like, I think most people's political affiliation is determined by their parents. You know what I mean? So when people say they don't care about politics, you could respond saying you should care about politics. It's important, especially to your, like, queer friends, your black friends, whatever. But, like, they probably truly don't care about politics because either they're privileged or whatever the case may be, right? So, like, I don't want to hold it against someone like they grew up in a Republican era. Like, I think you could tell pretty quickly when you talk to a person whether they're a good or bad person, regardless of their affiliation. But the Trump stuff is like, if you're watching this dude, and there's been, like, it's impossible to avoid Donald Trump in the, you know, in the media. Like, you see him, you hear him. It just makes me think so much less of you as a person. Because you're just endorsing this dude who, like, putting aside all the allegations and the racism and the sexual assault and those kinds of things, like, that's your guy. That's your man's. You know what I mean? Listening to your parents for your political views is cringe as fuck. I mean, it's very natural, right? I think if I just, you know, didn't do speech and debate, potentially, I'd probably just be like a moderate-ass Democrat. But, you know, some people have certain experiences that shape their political views. I'm not on Truth Social, no. Not yet. You know how there's, like, multi-streaming? Like, I could stream to Twitch and TikTok at the same time? I wish I could stream to, or, like, tweet to Twitter and Truth Social and Parler at the same time.
Air defense, the ammunition, the artillery.
Ooh, they're talking about foreign policy. I don't care. How's Quinn doing? Foreign policy? Yuck. I set up a presentation comparing Big Brother 26 house guests to 25 house guests. And we're going to revisit all of Izzy's predictions. It's going to be a fun stream. We have more important domestic issues. Quinn Martin. That's right. Quinn for president. He wouldn't make the right decisions, but he'd be fun. I would vote for Quinn for president. I think he'd be all right. I would hope he would trust. Yeah, podcast tonight. It's going to be uploaded during the stream. America's on it. It's just waiting to be uploaded to YouTube. Quinn would launch a nuke on the UK by accident. On the UK? I hope that shit's not on accident. Quinn would make Leah his VP? Yeah. I would say, remember my final camera talk when I was like, hey, y'all, like, don't be mean to her. Be gentle with America, whatever. He's going to do the same thing with Leah. It's going to be awesome. Quinn packing the air that's gas or what? I'd say or what? I will say, I think every single person on this cast, minus like 1 or 2 people, has provided enough. In this final 9, I think everyone has given me a lot, except maybe Chemo. And Chemo has been likable. Like, I don't dislike Chemo. But I think, like, everyone else has really given me something this season. What's in the little frame? Are you talking... Oh, this one? It's a quote by Winston Churchill that says, I'm satisfied with nothing but the best or something. I'm easily satisfied with the best. It's not like I printed that out. It was a speech and debate award I got once, and I used it in my casting video, so. Have you talked to any pre-jurors besides Cedric? I talked to Joseph on FaceTime at the club. So it wasn't super, you know. Wasn't the best conversation, but we talked a little bit. Churchill right next to the Zaddy calendar. I think it's what he would have wanted. I saw someone on Twitter say that Quinn and Leah are like you in America. Yeah, if you squint really hard, you know. No, I did not watch back my finals interview. I don't have I don't have access to that, obviously. I watched back my video. I wish. I killed those interviews. So, chat, tell me, is Quinn cooked? Is it over? Because I know he had Mackenzie and Angela and Leah, and then Cam shut it down, and then Mackenzie jumped ship. It's over. Here's my thought. I think it's obviously a good move for Chelsea to get rid of Quinn at this point. I don't think it's a bad idea for Cam. I think Cam can go either way and be all right. I think MJ, it's a terrible move. We'll talk about the blind side. That's really bad. I think Cam, I can see both paths. For Cam, I can understand the perspective of like, you know, you get rid of Quinn, you're the best competitor left. That could be a path in and of itself. Quinn's the next most fearsome competitor. MJ could change your vote if he gives a really good speech. Yeah. The blindsiding would be insane. Like, so remember during Big Brother 25 when I was trying to get like Matt and Jag and them to blindside Blue and Suri for no reason, and they obviously saw through it on one of these votes, and they saw like, this is so stupid, we're not going to do it. MJ came up with that plan herself. She's like, I'm going to blindside Leah for no reason, and she's going to be mad at me. What are your guys' thoughts, Cam and Chelsea? Maybe Mimi, Felicia. Yeah, I think we were all going to vote to evict Mimi and they'd vote to evict Felicia, so Felicia would be upset with them or something. Or the other way around. Cam's logic for keeping the trio. I think he feels like he's close to Rabina and T-Core, and also he thinks he can beat them in competitions. Like, Quinn's the biggest threat. I think that's ultimately Cam's reasoning. Quinn's the biggest threat left, and he's still mad at him for blowing up the Pentagon. And let's be real, keeping Quinn is not a good decision for either Cam or Chelsea, or at least Chelsea at this point, because she already backdoored him. If she didn't backdoor him this week, you can argue that maybe Quinn wouldn't target her immediately, even though he said he might. When Leah wins the next HOH, then what? Unless you're a truly elite player, which no one on this cast is, you're going to have bad HOH outcomes. The only person I would lock into surviving next week would be Rabina. But even that is not a sure thing. No, I wouldn't even lock in Rabina. The only person I would lock in being there next week is Angela. I can think of a way every single other person is evicted. T-Core seems a little bit difficult, but on Leah HOH putting up Chelsea and T-Core, that's kind of hard for T-Core to get votes. She needs 3 and she only has 2. How does Chelsea go? That's, maybe T-Core wins a veto, right? Quinn and Angela stuck in jury together for a week would be insane. I think it would be so chill. Quinn does not fight. He does not hold a grudge. People will be completely unreasonably rude and mean and annoying to him, and he'll just smile and still be friends with them. I'm telling you, I think that's a part of Big Brother that is underrated, Ned. When the numbers get lower, veto becomes almost more important than HOH. Not yet. Not at the final 8. But when we're talking final 7, 6, 5, whoever wins that veto, if you're off the block, you basically decide the vote. I saw Taryn today talking about how, vote counts does not really matter. It all comes down to HOH. And I think that's true for the next week. At the final 7, vote count starts to matter a tremendous amount. Because so few votes determine the outcome. Yeah, 6 is where it kicks in for real. 7 is still really powerful. Okay, are you guys ready to do my little presentation? I thought it was fun. I had a good time doing it. I'm going to justify it all to you guys. Okay. So this was, first we're going to talk about what Izzy's predictions were. So this is Izzy. We're going to go in order, and then when we get to the final 9, we'll do whatever order we want, okay? So Izzy's prediction for Matt Hardiman was to be Cam Hardman, or Cam Harden. Which, I think was off. They're both strategically terrible and socially pretty bad. But I don't think this applies necessarily. Who do you all think I've compared to Matt Hardiman? Because this is not one of my favorite comparisons. This is not perfect by any means. Move your cam to the bottom? I could, but that'll cover up other stuff. No, I'm gonna keep it up here. I think this makes more sense. I get what you're saying, Katie. I see red. I have Heisem. I've got Heisem. And look, here's the thing. No one is a perfect match. No one's a perfect match because everyone has to match up with somebody. Now, here's the argument for Matt being Heisem. Matt was immediately considered a competition threat. While Heisem won some comps, Matt didn't. They're both considered very threatening. They also both delusionally thought they were in a majority alliance. For Matt, it was the barber shop. For Heisem, it was the professors. Both of them got in heated altercations week 1 that would likely go down as the biggest altercation of the season. You might say, what altercation did Heisem get in? Well, it was with me. Is the Izzy game room still happening? Yeah, we're scheduling. They're very busy. They were both evicted very early. They both have ridiculous personalities. They both could play a Big Brother 1,000 times and never win. And I think that, in and of itself, is what makes this comparison the strongest. Early boots, strong physical men, got in a massive altercation week 1, thought they were in the majority alliance when everyone knew they were the target. Not good. This comparison's bad, low-key. Ari, you got to understand. You need to understand that everyone has to be someone. So, Izzy predicted that Lisa would be Felicia. Now, I think there's some similarities. Both very eccentric personalities. Both got in a few fights. Both cooked in the house. But this is not the correct one. I think Lisa is Kirsten. Now, unfortunately, Kirsten had to go somewhere. No one was a clear Kirsten, unless you wanted to put Matt as Kirsten. Lisa never truly got a social footing in the house. She was always an outcast, as was Kirsten. Never really stood a chance, frankly. Was never in any big majority alliance. Always fighting an uphill battle. Had several condescending conversations with a woman above the age of 50. There's a couple similarities between the two. I wonder who's the better chef, though. That is my question. So again, not too much to say on these early comparisons. You got to get rid of some of these early boots. Messy players, early boots, not tons of potential, unfortunately. All right. Izzy predicted Kenny would be Luke. Now, we all hate Kenny. I don't think Kenny lived down to the Luke name. I think Kenny far surpassed what Luke did on Big Brother 25. Much more of a testament to Luke. This is one of the easiest ones. Kenny is so clearly red. Both of them around the same age. Get evicted around the same spot. The week they're being evicted, they want to be evicted, and they're talking about wanting to be evicted. Both of them want to work with another dude in a duo. Both of them actually probably had a much greater longevity in the game if they just fought a little bit more. Had paths forward. It's a very, very simple comparison. I think it's very accurate. Both have arm tattoos. Red wanted to be evicted. Not by the time that eviction happened, but he talked about quitting several times that week. Missing his family and whatnot. Both did win a single veto. Red won the week 4 veto. Kenny won the week 2 veto. Is that right? I know, yeah, something like that. So, I think this comparison, it kind of goes without saying. It's a very straightforward one. I hope you all agree. Okay. Izzy predicted that Cedric would be Bowie Jane. Now, I see it. There's a similar energy there. Both of them preached loyalty in the preseason. Absolutely. But if you're me, Cedric was the easiest comparison to make ever. Immediately in my head, Eureka, I know who Cedric is, and it's a perfect comp. Who is it? Immediate light bulb. Ryder says Riley. You, Riley. Izzy. Riley. It's Jag. It's so clearly Jag. Both of them are extremely social players who were in the majority alliance at the start. Little did they know that majority alliance was crumbling. Both of them are way too loyal. Cedric, coming into the game, talked about if he was in a final two with someone and he knew he would lose, he would bring the person he was going to lose to the end and lose to them. Cedric also showed himself to be very strong in competitions. Up until week 4, Jag had won one competition. Up until week 4, Cedric has won one competition. Getting second in the veto the week they were evicted. Both of them were evicted during the 4th week. Both of them volunteered to be pawns at various times during the season. Jag volunteered week 5. Cedric volunteered week 4. Jag also volunteered week 3. Not really. He was told he was being nominated and went with it. He pushed back a little bit, but I wouldn't call that volunteering. Both of them were nominated by members of their own alliance. Jag being nominated by Jared. Cedric being nominated by Quinn. Cedric deserved Path to Power, honestly. I think if Jag was not saved by Path to Power, he would be remembered in an extremely similar manner to Cedric. I think this is the perfect comp. I was proud of this one. Super, super clear to me. Okay. Izzy predicted Brooklyn would be red. This is an interesting one. This is an interesting one. Brooklyn is red. Okay. Interesting. Kayla thinks it's going to be Riley. Okay. Could Brooklyn be Izzy? Brooklyn's Mimi. All right. This one might be a bit bold. I have Brooklyn as Izzy. Now, I think in a lot of ways this comparison doesn't work. Izzy being compared to Brooklyn is kind of an insult to Izzy. Brooklyn wasn't that entertaining. Brooklyn being compared to Izzy isn't that nice to Brooklyn because I think Brooklyn's probably a better player than Izzy. But there are some similarities. Both of them are running the game until the week they are evicted. Literally running the game till the week they are evicted. Both of them are very close to the person running the house. For Brooklyn's Chelsea, for Izzy, it's Suri. Both of them are extremely loyal to that number. Both of them are in the majority alliance. Both of them have their majority alliance flipped on by the scrawny white nerd. Both of them go out around the same time. Week 5 for Brooklyn, week 6 for Izzy. Both of them fight very hard to survive that week they're gone. The biggest difference being Brooklyn's more passive than Izzy. Izzy is very, very active. Both of them are in multiple alliances, but I think, again, Izzy was in a lot more than Brooklyn. But that was Big Brother 25, to be honest. Both talk shit on the way out the door. That is true. I think Izzy's shit talking was a little bit more iconic, though. Okay. Both got evicted under a fan favorites HOH. I think that's fair. Did you gender match for all of these? I don't think so. I might have, but I didn't mean to. That wasn't like a criteria or anything. Okay. Izzy suggested that Tucker would be herself. Now, this was a real consideration of mine. I think the Tucker-Izzy comp is very fair in a lot of ways, but someone fits Tucker just a little bit better. Everyone's saying Cam. Absolutely not. It's Jared. It's absolutely Jared. Tucker and Jared both very often make moves that are extremely detrimental to their game. They are what I call self-destructive players. Both of them were good at competitions. Tucker, significantly better, let's be clear. Both of them won the wall competition. There you go. Both of them were in a showmance. Tucker with Robina, Jared with Blue. Both of them ruined their game during punishment week. I didn't even think about that. Both of them also have a tendency to get a little bit cranky, and it really affects their gameplay. Exactly, Mountain Doofus. Both are very liked socially. They have a lot of friends in the house. When they get in a bad mood, it's not good. Both of them like stirring up shit for no reason. Jared liked freaking people out, getting people nervous, as did Tucker. One difference, I think Tucker's a lot more performative than Jared. I don't think Jared cared too much about the cameras. I think in that way, Cameron and Tucker is a better comparison. Cameron was always playing for a big TV moment in the same way Tucker was. I think Tucker and Jared both suffer from big ego syndrome. I think both of them would be good casting on the challenge, honestly. Because you could be a little bit problematic on the challenge, you know what I mean? And I think both of them would cause a shit ton of drama. Jared was 11th place. Tucker was also 11th, right? Yeah, Tucker was 11th. I always get confused because Jared was not evicted in 11th place, but he went out in 11th, you know? Because like Cam was evicted in 11th and then Jared was 10th, but then he ended up 11th, Mimi 10th. I will say Tucker is a fucking millennial. I saw someone tweet about that. That was a funny video. He's definitely a product of the era. So I think Tucker could have worked for Izzy, could have worked for Cameron, could have worked for Jared. I think based on the other people we have left, Jared makes the most sense. So, let's move on. Both said problematic things, allegedly. We'll see what Tucker said, because everything I'm seeing on the internet doesn't seem good. The quotes, but we'll see. We'll see. Tucker can has cheeseburger, yes. All right, Izzy suggested that Joseph would be Mimi. Now, this is pretty good. I was very close to just keeping this as is, but I have had to make a slight moderation. A slight modification, rather. Because I don't think this is perfect, and I think we need to mix things around to get everyone perfect. Obviously, they both go out in 10th place right before a jury. Both of them are pretty non-important to the season. The main reason I didn't put these people as a comparison is because Joseph was playing so much more actively than Mimi. Both of them were kind of inconsequential to the grand scheme of things, but Joseph was playing hard. And I wouldn't even call Joseph inconsequential. It just, you know. I see a lot of people saying Blue. Well. This is not a perfect comparison. This is not a perfect comparison. It's not a perfect comparison. But Joseph was known around the house as the schemer. He often isolated himself in moments where he shouldn't be isolating himself. He got a crush on a girl who many others would consider well out of his league. He was backdoored at the final 10. Now, I wasn't backdoored at the final 10, but damn was it close. Both of us had camera talks that regularly reveal to the audience how unaware of the game dynamics we were. Both of us talked way too much about throwing competitions, or at least were suspected of throwing competitions. I never talked about it, but people thought it. I do think I was a better player than Joseph. I was more involved. I was more active. But when we're doing these comparisons, I think it about lines up. I think it's as close as we can get with this cast. And I think obviously people think Cory or Quinn. Well, let's think about it this way. Who backdoored Joseph? Anybody remember? At the final 10. Quinn. Now, who almost backdoored Cory? Now, let me say, the Quinn Cam comparison insofar as like the Cam America Leah Quinn stuff is stupid. That's stupid. We all know that. We all love Quinn. We all hate Cameron, okay? That's one thing. We understand that. We all agree. We all agree. Okay? But this is the right comparison. They're both going to get 9th place, and you're kind of wondering how the fuck did they even get that far? Both of them have the curly hair. Both of them, importantly, are fucking terrible at being the head of household. Terrible. They're not good at it. Both of them, at the final 10, were far too concerned about jury management. Despite neither of them having any fucking path to the final 2. For Quinn, he had to make sure Angela didn't get on the jury. For Cameron, he had to make sure Felicia didn't make the jury. Here's what I'll say. I think Quinn socially is leagues above Cameron. I think Quinn's social game is almost comparable. No, let me say this. I think Quinn's strategic game and Cameron's strategic game are pretty similar. I think Quinn's better, but again, it's kind of comparing shit to shit. Like they're both not very good at strategy, making the right calls. So again, I think this is the correct comparison. Both are terrible at HOH. Both have curly hair. Both are going to be 9th place, foreman of the juries. Both are hated on Big Brother Twitter. This is the comparison. I'm sorry. Sorry if you don't like the facts. Why are you making these based on results and placements, not how they fit in the house? I use placement when it's convenient, and I don't when it's not. You know what I mean? I'm trying to connect the dots where I can. So. Both liked a woman that wanted nothing to do with them. I think the nature of those situations are very different, so I don't want to compare them. But if you want to say just unrequited love, I think that's fine. But I think the comparisons, I just don't like making that comparison. All right. I think this was perhaps the most baffling of Izzy's prediction because I don't know what the fuck she saw. Chemo being like Jared. I will tell you what. I cannot think of a single comparison between them at all. Not one. And everyone in the chat is right. It's Mimi. Chemo's Mimi. He found himself in an alliance, and he has stopped playing the game and will not play the game again until he's evicted. I think he's gassed out. I don't think he's even a jury threat at this point. I think he's viewed as a bit of a goat. Very passive. Fans of the game. I think people think they've both got a bit of strategic potential, but I don't believe Chemo will have any chance to actualize that strategic potential, show it to us, and neither will Mimi. So, I think this is definitely the most appropriate comparison. Instead of the lazy Joseph as Mimi, because that's just a placement thing. And I don't compare placement. So this is, I think, perhaps Izzy's laziest comparison. Leah being Riley. Come on. And now, here's another point where we have to do the best we can given the people we have. Leah has to be America. She simply has to be. There's no other option. Now, of course, I think America is much nicer than Leah. America does a lot less shit-talking than Leah. But both of them are an option for the block every single fucking week. But somehow they don't go up. For America, that ended at the final 8. I think for Leah, it might as well. So, I think both of them clearly use flirtation as a strategy. Certainly, I know America admits to it. I think Leah would, maybe. Both of them almost were the reason why one of the people who had a crush on them were evicted at the final 10. And Leah played a part in Quinn's eviction at the final 9. Again, America was not the reason I was evicted, but played a part. So, I think America and Leah is a very clear one. I said from the get-go, Leah is destined for 6th place. And I am standing by that prediction. It seems likely. No, Tom, I almost was evicted at the final 10. That was me. So, we move on to this one. Cam being Matt. Now, this is a pretty solid comparison. I don't hate this. Again, another one I was thinking, did Izzy snap on this one? Did she nail it? Again, more on gameplay than anything else. Not in terms of, you got it. Cam's Bowie. Very clearly Bowie, too. Cam has locked himself into a trio, and he is loyal till the end. He's a competition threat, but not really. You know what I mean? A very social player. When he talks strategy, he seems to know what he's doing, but he doesn't talk strategy that much. Both are super memeable. Didn't even think about that. Both of them probably are similar level athletes. Bowie and Cam only had one competition win going into the final 9. That is correct. Both of them slay in their cast photos. Bowie shouts out Australia. He shouts out the dogs at the crib. Both are 35. Well, close. Both are the same distance from 35. Their ages are the same distance from 35, so that's good. So I think this is a very, very clear comparison to me. I think this fits. This tracks. All right. Izzy predicted that Chelsea would be Suri. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think I compare Chelsea to? Tom says this is perfect. Night Cheese agrees. Suri. Okay, you guys agree? What? Oh, it doesn't look like I'm changing slides because they're the same slide. I think he nailed it. Or she nailed it. I think this is right. Now, Suri was very clearly one of T-Core or Chelsea. Very clearly. Chelsea is more active, and Suri was way too active to possibly be T-Core. Suri and T-Core are just way too different stylistically. Both Chelsea and Suri are in the dominant position in the game. Both of them are balancing a ton of different alliances. Both of them get fed up with other players' bullshit and get a little bit cranky. While T-Core is more similar to Suri socially, I think Chelsea is way more similar strategically. Chelsea plays a little bit chaotic. sometimes comes to the wrong conclusion, but is pretty good at smoothing things over. And I think that's Cirí's game to a T. Now, what sets Chelsea apart from Cirí is, number one, her social ability is much worse. Cirí's a legend in that regard. But also, she actually has ability to win competitions where Cirí did not. And while competitions have been more equitable this season, I still don't think Cirí would have a chance to win any of them. To be frank. So. I think this is the obvious comparison to make for Chelsea. I think it's accurate. I'm happy with it. So. Tikor is Jag, according to Izzy. Now, this might end up being pretty close to correct if they both win. Tikor wins. Jag's already got that done. But of course, if Tikor is not Cirí, she has to be Matt. And I think this comparison works. I think both of them are extremely conflict avoidant. Both of them are very passive players as well. But their social game carries them. Everyone underestimates Tikor. Oh, it's my beloved Tikor, my sweet Tikor. Everyone underestimates Matt. I think people have a little bit more reverence for Tikor in terms of like, oh, she's going to be a jury threat. We should watch out for her, where that wasn't as much of a talking point outside of me when it came to Matt. I don't think either of them are very good strategically. They're very good socially. I think you're right, Seabeth. They are quite unintentional with how they play the game. But yeah. This has to be the most accurate comparison. Again, it mostly comes down to the social game, strategic game. Socially, they're both great. Strategically, they're both mid. And both of them are probably just going to walk to the end without being nominated. Even if Matt was nominated at the Final Four, we don't count it. So. Izzy suggested Rabina is blue. Now, they've got a lot of comparisons. Both in a showmance. They might both get 7th place, for all we know. There's comparisons. But I think it's off. I think it is off. Mountain Doofus says Riley. And he's correct. I think both Rabina and Riley are social butterflies. Everyone likes them. Both of them are kind of in showmances. I wouldn't count Riley as really being in a showmance, but, you know. Showmance adjacent. And what I really see the similarity between the two, they do a little bit of crying. They cry a little bit. Both pretty good at comps as well. But they don't deal with the emotion of the game as well as some others. They get very overwhelmed. So, I think this comparison works. Obviously, Riley got 2nd. Rabina is still in the house, or got 2nd to last. Rabina's still in the house. Both bartenders, that's true. One in Nashville, one in LA. I think Rabina's Riley. And it's kind of narrowing it down, 3rd to last. I've chosen to erase Luke from Big Brother 25. I don't even consider him. I said Tikor was Matt, Ari. Tikor was Matt. I think that's pretty indisputable. All right. Izzy predicted Angela would be Heisem. I don't even need to give this suspense. Who do you think Angela is? Who do y'all think? Come on. It's the same archetype. They're the same. Felicia hates Angela. She doesn't see it. We all see it. She doesn't see it. Come on. It's such an obvious comparison. Will Angela make it past the Final Four? Probably. We'll see. They're also real estate agents, yeah. No, I think they literally casted Felicia. It went well and decided to cast Angela that day. Both of them are being dragged late in the game, having vetoes used on them, getting unnecessary fights, having terrible reads. I think Felicia's a better player than Angela by quite a bit. But I don't think it matters. They're both very... Honestly. Yeah, Angela definitely takes it to another notch than Felicia did. But I also think Angela has less like mean-spirited moments in the house than Felicia. I do not think Angela's a better player. No shot. But I think this comparison works. All right. And, of course, that leaves Izzy's comparison of MJ to Kirsten, which, not terrible, but MJ is very clearly blue. Very clearly blue. Both of them are some of the worst strategic players we've ever seen. Both are very, delusional in how they viewed the game, how Mackenzie views the game, just totally lost as to what's going on. I think both of them have a bit of a mean streak in them. I think Mackenzie less so. But I think Mackenzie and Leah certainly have said some stuff about each other. I think both of them, when they're in power, are very high and mighty. And kind of fall even further into their delusion. Both of them, I think, are similar in competitions. Both of them have one veto win. Both good competitors. Yeah, the MJ Leah Blue America corollary is real. It's real. It's there. It's hard to deny. They both leak info? Yeah, I think so. OTEV win with 1 round is almost like guessing a number. Kind of, yeah. It's look, I'm picking up what you're putting down at the very least, hey bub. But yeah, I think this is about right. So that does it for the presentation. Claps all around. I'll now be taking questions. What do we got? No, I think America's checked out for the day. Did you update your player rankings? I didn't do it formally, but I think basically Chelsea would still be number 1. I think T-Core would be number 2. T-Core jumps Cam with Quinn staying, or with Quinn leaving. And then I think it would have to be like Cam, MJ, Leah in some order. I think Cam would be higher than MJ. I think Leah would be higher than... I think Cam and Leah would be higher than MJ for me. We'd not get the TV up yet. No, it's tomorrow. How long are you streaming? I'm streaming for a while. I gotta watch the feeds. So. Do you think Leah's upset because she has developed some actual feelings for Quinn? No. I think they like each other. I think they get along. I think it's more she feels somewhat guilty and she thinks she fucked up all of their games last week by using the veto on Angela, which, look, she did, because if she didn't take off Angela, Joseph wouldn't have left, but Quinn also made the choice to get rid of Joseph. Like, he put him up, so it's a lot of blame and blame pie to go around. What will you do to create jobs for the American people? I will send everyone a webcam and microphone equipment to start their own podcast. I will expand HelloFresh to be able to provide more sponsorships to support these up-and-coming content creators. Would you ever trust Angela in the BB house? From this side, no. I think, I get it, though. I kept trying to give Felicia chances and work with Felicia, even though it was a non-starter. I think the BB27 lesson that people need to learn after 25 and 26 is you have to get this player out. If you're a comp beast, you can keep them in. If you're not a comp beast, you need to evict them. The Felicia, the Angela. They're way too dangerous to keep in the game. It's a lesson I learned really hard. I was evicted because of it. This is lame. Why'd you send it to me then? What do you want me to say about it? What is it? I would have to see the context of this conversation, Lila. This looks so like... I don't know. I thank you, Cory's pink hat, but I don't know what to say about this. Like, I'd have to see the conversation itself. Don't evict them. We need them on the feeds. I don't know. I'm not getting that much from Angela on the feeds anymore. Like, she's still fun, but it's the same reason I wouldn't want to see Felicia on a future season. Like, it'd be fun, but it's just like, I think I get it. I think we got it. You know what I mean? Was the correct move for Quinn to flip and get Tucker out? When? What do you mean? Podcast is coming out tonight. Yeah, it's already recorded, and America should upload it soon. It should be ready. Getting Tucker out when, King? I'm going to turn the fan on. Oh, look at this little vibe. This little vibe we got going on. It's a little too bright, though. Jesus. Still bright, you think? I don't know. I like it. I need to put up the lights I had in the dorm. That is true. I think, like, you see, like, all the space in between this stuff. I'm going to put, like, strips of light. Thank you, Anonymous, for the gift. Does anybody know the day that I got gifted all those subs? Because I feel like that day's got to be coming up, and we're about to lose 400 of them. Where's the green screen? It's over there. I'm not going to use the green screen until I get better lighting, so I can use it appropriately. You think it's tomorrow? Oh, no. So sad. The subbing is coming. All right. All right, y'all. It's time to build a cushion. Thank you for the galaxies. August 12th. Okay, 2 days from now. All right. Time to build the cushion. It'll literally be on 9/11. Oh, no. 2 days until I'm an unsub. How would I tweak AI Arena to make it better? I think it's pretty good. For me, the AI Arena would end at the final 12. It would go from 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. And then it would stop. I know that Twitch paycheck hit real good when it came in. It hasn't hit yet. It will soon, though. Make it earlier in the day so there's a bit time for more campaigning. I mean, you can't really do that, right? That also negates the idea of the twist. Like, you want the twist to exist, so, like, live shows are exciting. So if it's not on the live show, it's lame. Also, we lose, like, basically all of feeds on Thursdays. Give him a commercial break to talk. I don't know. I like being able to see it. So I understand, Nino, and I agree, like, in premise, it's obviously going to do better for viewership. But hasn't viewership been down this season from last season? Is that just, like, losing Suri, honestly? I picked this day for feeds chaotic. I mean, I was between a couple days I could pick, but like Tuesday or Wednesday was kind of the ones we landed on. I think I should have done the veto meeting days, which would have been Tuesday recapping Mondays. But what are you going to do? Wurtenberger Wednesdays just sounded too good. Thursdays are the highest rated. Yeah, I guess just big picture, the ratings are bad. Yeah, too bad your name is Cory Wurtenberger. I agree. Podcast is up. This is huge for the community. Huge. I'm very desperately trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the stream in not Big Brother season, because the stream is going to die a little bit. No? Is anyone else bracing themselves for that reality? I'll do Survivor content for sure, but that only does so much. I think I'm going to do a lot less TV stuff. I'll try to get back to like variety, just fun stream ideas. But yeah. Are you going to do law school then? Law school doesn't start till next year, Lila. Charm School. Yeah, I gotta find the links for Charm School. I think I might do I Love New York though. When you start applying, it's you have to submit your applications by like January 1st or something. Or something. Milk the BB26 house guest for viewers. I think we'll have Quinn on, probably Joseph once or twice, but yeah, you know, there's only so much you can do. I have been watching the Challenge 40, and I just wish I liked the Challenge show a little bit more. I just wish, like, you know, obviously it's all about, like, the actual challenges, but you want to hear my secret opinion about the challenge? I hate trivia. I know it's a classic. Everyone loves trivia. I hate trivia. And I'm into the challenge right now. It's fun, but, like, these newer seasons, the way they're edited, it's just kind of boring because there's so much less drama. Season's good so far, though. Hit up Heisem. Oh, you said hit up Hassan and become a political streamer. I thought you said hit up Heisem. I'm like, that'd be crazy. We'll do live streams like that. Like when the election's happening, I'll be live watching election night. That'd be fun. It might be a sobering night. Not for me. I'm getting wasted. It'll be fun depending on the outcome. Look, whatever the outcome is, I think it's very important to watch. And it'll be very engaging. Hit up Heisem and do another solving your problems Google form. I don't know if I have a relationship with Heisem like that where I'd have him on my stream. You know? And I don't know if he'd think it's appropriate to be like soliciting psychological advice. You know. Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala. Did that happen? Is it on Twitter? I gotta see this. This is huge. Do 40 Fridays at Mang. I wish. I actually don't wish that. I think she would. It's on Instagram. All right, let's see this. I would not want to do that because he would say some problematic thing, and people would be like, "Look who Cory's a fan of." All right, let's read this. Swifties, engage. 1 second. Let me play a song. Um, all right. Like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances that these candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for this country. Recently, I was made aware that AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site. It really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she's a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz. He's been standing up for LGBTQ+ rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. I've done my research and I've made my choice. Your research is all yours to do. Oh, that's a bit of a disclaimer. And the choice is yours to make. I also want to say, especially to first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it's much easier to vote early. I'll link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story. With love and hope, Taylor Swift, a childless cat lady. We won! Alright, when is Brittany Mahomes going to make a statement? When is Brittany Mahomes going to make a statement? I'm ready. Who is Travis Kelce endorsing? Travis Kelce is clearly a Democrat. He's a dumbass, and I mean that in dumbass parentheses endearing, but he's a Democrat. He's way too ingrained with like Hollywood and all that. Who is Patrick Mahomes endorsing? Patrick Mahomes will never endorse anybody. Ever. Is anything going on in the feeds? I haven't even fucking pulled this shit up. The whole point was to watch the feeds here, and I feel like the feeds are dead because the flip is dead. The flip is not dead. I heard the flip is dead. Because Cam and Chelsea killed it. And MJ's even on board to kill it. Melinda, do you have different information? It's not fully dead, so it's just what do you mean? It's kind of dead? Quinn is doing campaigning tomorrow. Okay. The flip is dead for tonight. That's all I care about. After that, it's out of my hands. Well, the whole point, Katie, is he's got to convince Chelsea, Cam, and MJ. Mostly Chelsea and Cam. I still cannot get over leaving a trio in the house. I think for Chelsea, it is so clearly the right thing to do. Because the trio wants to take her to the Final Four, and she's the best competitor of the four of them. And I'm not even sure Rabina and T-Core would cut her for chemo. I think it might be a 3 at that point. especially if she like exhibits loyalty the whole time, and it allows Cam, MJ, and them to know they still have to target the trio. I think her biggest problem has been her treatment of Leah and Angela. Her getting just annoyed with Angela, which I understand, but you got to keep up appearances. And I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do with Leah. The Leah thing is a little bit hard. Leah genuinely believes Quinn is MJ's vote. I don't believe her. Or no, I don't hold that against her. Because MJ was voting to keep Quinn. She was down until she changed her mind. You know what I mean? So it's not like she bought MJ's lie. She bought MJ's truth and doesn't know it changed. And Angela is down to keep Quinn. It's Angela, so you know. The idea of blindsiding them, I think, is kind of genius from Chelsea's perspective. I don't even know if she knows about it, or if she knows that like Leah is gunning for her. I think she probably assumes it. But for her, it just makes Angela and Leah mad at MJ instead of just mad at her for putting up Quinn. So that's good. I think for MJ's been the worst player of the week by far. MJ's been terrible. Will Chelsea ever target T-Core? I think so. I think Chelsea's final two is MJ. Or Cam. Either one's good. I don't think T-Core's top of the list, but I think T-Core always took her relationship with MJ. T-Core took her relationship with Chelsea more seriously than Chelsea takes it with T-Core, if that makes sense. I think everyone's rooting for Leah HOH. But now, I think we all are pretty confident what the next HOH comp's going to be, right? It's going to be the floating, spinning discs. It's got to be. That just feels right for this part of the season. They did it during our Final 8 as a veto. They'll do it as an HOH again. The backyard shut early. In which case, I don't think Leah has a chance if it's that one. I don't think she has a chance. I think it'll come down to Rabina, Cam, MJ. Probably Rabina versus Cam. Based on what we saw in the wall, I think it's Rabina versus Cam. And they are going to be good at the competitions for different reasons. Rabina is smaller frame, less weight. Cam is stronger. Would you change your rankings now you had with Bowie? 100%, yeah. It would be Chelsea, T-Core, then probably like Cam, then like Rabina and Leah in some order, then MJ, then Chemo, then Angela. Would be my rankings. All right, let's see this link. What do we got, Nino? If I'm in a position where I have to vote Leah and Angela are either going to be very upset because I'm voting Quinn out. Either they get in the right side or they deal with the wrong side. Well, she's not going to be put in a position to vote. You know, that's the whole point. MJ should be last. MJ can't be last. She has so much more win equity than Angela, and Chemo is just so checked out. Like, Chemo, I think, is about has as little win equity as Angela. Maybe a little bit more, but if there's a flip, it'll be 4-2. Exactly, yeah. Because Chelsea and Cam, or Cam and MJ won't do it without Chelsea's support, and they won't do it without each other, so. MJ will be third place. It's possible. But, I mean, if you let her in the final 3, she could win that HOH comp very easily. She has a great shot. No, Nino, the whole time it's been, can you get Chelsea? Getting MJ's fine. Like, it's can you get Chelsea? And it seems like no, but they change their minds a lot. I don't think he's drawing dead by any means, but it's not good. It's not good. I'm gonna play a song I listened to today that was crazy to me. You know why he's not drawing dead? Because he's next to Chemo. Chemo is like a reasonable person to vote out. There was no reason to vote out America. What's up, Blake? Welcome. How are you, man? Cam's dogs joining Twitter is very sweet. I like it. I joined a gym today, like paying for a gym membership instead of using the apartment gym, and I'm pissed. Like, you go in, right? First of all, it's so expensive. But they have like those fancy Peloton treadmills, and I do say this in the podcast, so sorry if I'm being repetitive. But they have these like treadmills that are like the Pelotons where you can run through trails. And like you get the video on screen of like you actually running through the forest, and they have this like woman leading you, like, come on, and I assume motivating you. I don't know. I was listening to the live feed update. And the treadmill reacts to what it sees on the screen. So if you're going up a hill, it cranks up the incline. Or if she starts going faster, it cranks up the speed a little bit. It's fun. It just makes the run a little bit less monotonous, right? But this girl kept going uphill. She kept finding staircases in this like city in the Scottish Highlands and kept running up, and the treadmill would go vertical. It was like 10 incline at 5 speed. It was so bad. Did you do hard mode? It was like 3 miles in 27 minutes, which is a lot. Like, that's like 3 9-minute miles. Like, that's kind of fucking crazy. And it was like uphill. Some of it was downhill. It was killing my ass. But I've always had pretty good cardio. Pretty good. As long as my legs can hold up. I've got pretty bad shins. Can't you set the trail to easier mode? Mama ain't raising no bitch. You know what I mean? 5 speeds and awkward speed. It's just a jog. Just a jog. But yeah, in terms of fasting, I saw someone asked. I've kind of always done intermittent fasting just by accident because I would wake up late and then eat like 1 meal a day. I used to wake up late, go to class, and I'd get out of class at like 5 and then eat and then have like a snack and go to bed. So I'm getting back to that. My plan, and you guys are going to tell me how unhealthy it is, but I think this is going to be my process regardless of what you say, is I'm going to eat like a big meal a day and then a snack at night. Like, I might make eggs later, you know what I mean? I had a big lunch, I might just have some eggs. And I never eat breakfast. People say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. No, the fuck it's not. It is not the most important meal of the day. It is if you're a loser, Henry Ford, 9-to-5 employee, maybe. How about some challah? I've quit the liquid sugar. That's good. I kind of have too. The problem is we have seltzers that I have to get rid of. Like, these can't be that bad, like sodas, right? 100 calories, 3 grams of sugar. Honestly, that's fucking lightweight. That is lightweight compared to like a soda. 3 grams of sugar. How many grams is in a Mountain Dew? Let's look this up. Like 70 grams in a 20 ounce. 12 ounces, 46 grams. I can handle this. Do you think you could do a 2-month cleanse of juice and soda? Look, I could. The problem with me is, like, I think I'm low-key addicted to sugar. And it sounds a little goofy, but sugar addiction is a thing. It's actually a very generational thing. Not really, for me necessarily. But, like, I get, like, headaches. You know? Like, I don't drink sugar and I get like headaches and I crave it. It's crazy. Unsweet iced tea. Oh, I hate unsweetened iced tea. Oh. I'm looking for an alternative because I could drink, like, maybe I could just do seltzer water. I could do okay with that. You know what I actually kind of like? I like Propel. Is Propel unhealthy? Is vitamin water unhealthy? Because I could do vitamin water. So, Kayla, I love Poppy, but Poppy's really unhealthy, right? And you also can't drink a lot of Poppy because it'll make you have diarrhea and blow up your insides. I'm sure Propel is fine, but it feels goofy buying that much water. I like Crystal Light, but Crystal Light has sugar, right? That is sugar. It's coffee. It's the caffeine. Okay. Who are your Survivor 47 faves? Well, I've met 3 of them. I met 3 of them. And I like all of them. So tomorrow I'm going to do my big Survivor prediction stream. We're going to watch all the casting stuff. And we're going to make our predictions. I met Andy and Teeny at an RHAP event. And I met Sam because he's in Nashville. Obviously, I'm unspoiled. In case anyone's thinking that. And of course, I've met Asia. I met Asia at an RHAP event a while ago. Before she was on Survivor. She was in NOLA. You're going to be there, Anita? I'm going to be there too. There's a Survivor event going on in Nashville. Hosted by CBS. They've got a casting tiki hut. I think I'm going to apply. Why not? Caitlin Clark liked the Taylor endorsement on Insta. This is big. Has Caitlin Clark not said her political affiliation? Let's be real. Like, when a woman is unaffiliated, you can kind of assume they're a Democrat in the same way you can guess a guy who's unaffiliated is a Republican, or at least votes that way. It's not foolproof, but it's kind of how it works. Boston Rob's going to be there. That's funny. America's going, of course. Charlie will be there. That's right. You and America going for Blood vs. Water 3? I have a lot of options for Blood vs. Water, fortunately. A guy who isn't affiliated means centrist? Sure, but he definitely votes Republican. It's not a showing of the premiere. It's like they do challenges there and meeting, like, just booths. I don't know what it is, really. Centrist is conservative light. For the most part, yeah, I agree. For the most part. Team Lovett. That's the celebrity, right? John Lovett. Give me a grade. Like, what list? Is he A-list, B-list, C-list celebrity? What is he? Obama speechwriter. C-list, D-list. He worked for Obama. Okay. It's a very interesting cast they assembled here. I see the alt-right. Not the alt-right. Maybe they're alt-left. I don't even know if I want to ascribe a political thing. The nut jobs on Twitter have adopted Sue Smay as their pick. So, you know, best of wishes to Sue. She's like the older blonde lady on the cast, very physically fit. She's QAnon. I did not, but you got to send that to America, Lila. She loves Trisha Paytas. Do you think you do well in Survivor challenges? I think I would do really bad in the endurance competitions, and that's most of Survivor individual immunities. In terms of the team challenges, I don't think I would hold my team back in any way. And with like the skill and puzzle ones, I think it'd be good in the individual phase. I think it'd be good. But the endurance ones, I've realized I have really bad muscle endurance. It is not a strength of mine. Wait, by the way, because I know everyone on the internet is calling it misinformation. Have any of you guys have any of your pets been eaten by undocumented immigrants? Just before we all call it blasphemy on Twitter, I just want to do a head count. Everyone's pets are okay? Check on your pets. Has Zach ever tried to get cast on Survivor again? No. That'd be bold if he did. That'd be a crazy thing to do. Jeff, I got a great idea. First boots. First boots would be a fire season. I think the biggest hurdle that season would run into is marketing would be fucking wild. It'd be an impossible season to market because no one is recognizable. What caused Zach's downfall? He was on an extremely problematic tribe at the start, like really unlucky tribe. Not problematic in like they're problematic, but like he was on a tribe with 3 guys. It was the weakest strong guy and then 2 really weak guys. So they had to get rid of one of them. There was a quick breakdown based on the older people versus the younger people. And one of the people who Zach didn't vibe with, there's only one he didn't have a good relationship with. She had an extra vote that, you know, people knew about. So, like, he was kind of cooked at the start. They could do it all pre-merge cast. Yeah, again, I think this is a thing that would be more exciting for Survivor fans, like, online than, like, Survivor fans who tune in with their family every Wednesday. Does Zach still talk Harry Potter with Tori? No, but he loves Tori. He thinks Tori's awesome. But I will say, like, just in a vacuum, I think Zach would be better at Survivor, Big Brother, these reality games than me. I just think it's unfortunate he was on Survivor. He never wanted to be on Big Brother, but I think Big Brother he would have done a lot better than Survivor. I think he would have been as much of a comp flop as me, if not worse, but nothing's happening on the feeds. They're all just in group convos. All on group convos. We'll be live for another 30 minutes, just 2 hours. Short stream today. Zach should go on the circle. I think he'd be good in most things. Do I think it's smart for Quinn to only start campaigning tomorrow? No, of course. You should campaign the whole time. But at the same time, like, I do get it. Like, there's no point in campaigning too early because things change so much. Like, if you convince someone on Monday, that doesn't mean very much. But I think you have to kind of have these campaigns last a while to, like, slow burn so people have time to actually reflect on what you're saying and sleep on it. I don't think it's a lost cause, but today was not a good day for his campaign. Yeah, I think that's where, when you're Quinn, you have to be assertive. I'm trying to see America through her window. Hey, America. She said, Cory, you're done streaming. She said, come over here. You're waving? I'm waving back. Hi. She's not waving anymore. What the fuck? This is so embarrassing. Can't you see me? There's a crazy glare. I see you. You're sitting on the bed. There you are. Hi. Hello. Why'd she take her top off? That is so inappropriate. That is inappropriate. Do you guys want to see the painting I got? It's very elegant. Look at this. This is me watching the feeds. The toucan. If someone had roommates, yeah, if you had roommates, you just close the blinds. But for me in America, it's nice. I will say, oh, y'all, do you want to see something about the ducks? This is so sad. So America got angry one day. Sometimes she gets angry and she can't control her fits of rage and she starts getting very aggressive. And she threw the duck against the wall. Look at him. As fast as she can. It was. I deserved it. You know what? I deserved it. Never mind. So now I only have 2 ducks. I mean, he's still there. He's still there. See, I'd be so mad if I was Quinn and 6 people are working on T-Core's hair. He said that the duck was me if I asked him to drive me during rush hour again. America, relax in the wine. She's dead sober, brother. You guys want to see her microphone? Look. It's like shimmering. Let me change the light setting a little bit. See how it looks. Is this vibe a little bit better? What do you guys think? Heh, love drunk. She might be drunk, actually. Saying that in chat's crazy. Let her bedazzle your mic. Is that some new age slang? Because we should not be saying that in the Twitch chat. Thank you, King of Two Hole. Exactly right. Exactly right. A dog wildin', yeah. Twitching across the house is wild. I appreciate you calling it a house. We need to bring back the Cory advice streams. You guys want to do a skeezy situations? Skeezy situations with Quinn will be fun. You're right about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you'd think a 40-year-old quarterback who just tore his ACL and his last season was average, you think he'd do great, you know? Shocking how these things turn out. When will you become a rich lawyer so America can become a housewife? Well, right now, I'm not a rich lawyer and she is a housewife. In fact, I'm a house husband. You know what I mean? Like, currently, we're living that dream. I don't have to become a rich lawyer. We both are just around the house. We're a house couple. So I was telling America today, I'm like, I know you don't want kids, obviously, but is it kind of a shame that, like, you're never gonna get like a house like a house with a backyard? She's like, I do want a house. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, in the city. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, oh, you want a house in New York City, right? And her logic was like, well, instead of having kids, we save that money, so you get like $1 million per kid, was her math. And I'm like, all right, we're let's say we have 2 kids. Instead of having 2 kids, we get $2 million. We're only about $8 million short of a house in New York City. No kids, but Benji is kind of cute. She's so annoying. But in the suburbs, you can have a real garden. Interesting. Imagine that, America. All the herbs. As much space as you'd like. Picture the size of your vanity. 2 walk-in closets all to yourself. He doesn't garden? No, not for me. How about a house in the Bronx? I was in the Bronx. I didn't really like it. I know America has a baby names list in her notes app. We all do. Yeah, I don't know why she added Cedric to it this weekend. I saw her over her shoulder. I don't think she saw that I saw. But I don't know how to feel about that. As a New York City native, I recommend Queens. I'm thinking the center of Manhattan. Do they have any affordable houses there? For the experts about New York, do they have any like good big houses I can buy in Manhattan for cheap? Yeah, you'll be homeless there. Hoboken. I think Mike is from Hoboken, from my brother's season. Just know that everybody who subs to this channel is contributing to my eventual house in Midtown. I'm thinking 3-bedroom, 3 bath, something like that. Hoboken has a cheesecake factory. Book it. Oh my god, imagine the New York City Cheesecake Factory. I would like a club sandwich and some fries and a drink. That will be $45, sir. Just a quick 45 of them. Then they're going to hand me a tablet. The default is 30% tip. $45 is cheap. For a club sandwich, fries, and a drink? No shot. I don't believe it. Hoboken's the best. 5 to 20 minute train to New York City. 5 to 20 is funny. It's a big gap. Come to Chicago instead. I like Chicago. It'll all hinge on where I get into law school, but I do like Chicago quite a bit. Honestly, my favorite city I've ever visited is Toronto. If the weather was a little bit less, like, perpetually bad, I'd be down to move to Toronto. But Toronto is probably as expensive as New York. Chicago is a little cheaper. What happened to Providence? Katie, if America came to me tomorrow and said, let's move to Providence, I would have my bags packed tonight. You know what I mean? I love Providence. I could drive around. It's not a big deal. It's not super busy. East Coast. Not Edinburgh, Texas. I'd be less against moving to Edinburgh, Texas than some places. We could get a nice-ass place in Edinburgh, I imagine. Can y'all hype up America's in the chat? She says she doesn't want to move to Miami because the girls are too hot. I'm like, America, you'd be the hot girl in Miami. Like, people don't want to move to Nashville because there's America, you know? Australia's right here. We are coming to Australia soon, Ned. Okay, soon as there's no plans at all to go to Australia. But we decided our first international trip will be to Australia. Here's the thing. America and I are moving to Florida not because I want to be in Florida, not because I want to be close to my family, but because it's our responsibility as Americans to vote blue in Florida and try to swing that state. Have you met King George? I have. Not a fan. You got fans here down under? Shell, are you also Australian? I will say, oh, that's cool. I would never live in Australia. Housing is so fucked there. Y'all are fucked. Unless you've got a great place already. Australian housing, no thanks. No thanks. Yeah, I will say America. If we move to Miami, you might be able to meet Pitbull. You love Pitbull. Miami's a blue city too. Not for long. Miami is not a blue city for many more years, I fear. Just based on my experience. America, you ready to watch some Lost today? Okay, can you guys talk to me? Is there a market for this on the Patreon? Is there a market for this on the Patreon? You have homework? Shit, you do. Okay. Is there a market for me and America talking to Chappelle for one podcast about Lost? For a single podcast? Yes? Okay. Because Chappelle is doing his first watch through at the same time America's doing her first watch through. And he's my favorite Twitter account right now. Cannot believe he hates Desmond. It's outrageous. I haven't asked him yet, but I'm sure he'd be down. Is America in school? In a way. Honestly, what she's doing now, the work, is more important than schoolwork. And I mean that. It's very exciting. You guys will be pumped. She's joining Alyssa Lopez's agency. No, I'm kidding. No. Did America watch Devin's apology video? Yes. Give us a hint? No. No smile. We did just record something for it, though. No, the finale is incredible. What the fuck were the texts? Should I watch this Devin video? Where'd he post it? He deleted it? I'm sure it's still posted. I'm sure it's posted on Twitter. It says, I don't feel like doing shit right now. I like being bummy too. Therapy is at 4 for you and 5 for me. Don't be sad, baby. I would love to do a date night. Just not when I'm sick as a dog. What if we just watch a little TV? We can do that. I can stare at your bummy face. I like that. I don't see a Zoom link. It's from 3 weeks ago. I'm here. I don't want this. It's going to be so awkward. Haha, just an introductory one. Let's make it comfortable and easy. There's no reason to dump day one. Yeah, okay. It says on standby. You just don't want to get your ass whooped. I don't understand what any of these texts mean. Okay, Jen, if that's what you think of me, then maybe we should talk about that in therapy this week or something. You act like we can't build off our feelings. This is the growing part. I am thoughtful. I do put you first. You make to distance me. Just to be clear, Nino, are you saying why am I looking at them? Or are you saying why would Devin post them? What's the... Because I'm looking at them because I'm a reality TV fan. Here's like none of these texts are telling me anything. I guess Devin's point is like I was trying. Here's a thing that happens online, right? Very often online someone gets canceled or called out or whatever you want to call it. And then they think they can get into their notes app or get into a twit longer and like cook something up that's going to change the narrative. And not once has it ever done that unless they're not guilty of what they did. Unless they have like full proof evidence that the other person was full of shit or did something worse. Because that's one thing that can change things. Like if Devin's like, okay, if Jen's like Devin did all these bad things and then Devin's like, yeah, but Jen did this horrible thing, people would change their minds. But no one can go online and cook up a defense for themselves. It doesn't happen on the internet, ever. But even when it's like grooming allegations, stuff way more serious than this kind of breakup, person thinks they can go and like type some shit up and then it's going to start trending on Twitter, free their name, you know? He should have just not said anything. I agree. I think that's the best thing you could do. Say nothing, delete the app, hope for it to blow over. Nah, I got you, Nino. Much better to use a ukulele. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just so goofy to me. I think people gotta learn. But yeah, I think in general, here's what I'll say. Like, I think people are taking the situation a little bit harder than they should. I think Devin's clearly like a dick, like an asshole. But Jen and Devin knew each other for 6 weeks. Like I think the seemingly most likely outcome is Devin was full of shit, didn't like Jen that much, but was trying to win the Bachelor, Bachelorette. Maybe he's a competitive all that stuff. But like, and maybe this is a hot take because obviously I think therapy's amazing. Everyone should go to therapy. I think people should go to therapy. If you don't want to, that's fine too. I get that. But if you need couples therapy after like a month and a half of dating, I just don't think their relationship is worth salvaging. I think like it shouldn't be that hard immediately. You know? Does that make sense? Like I think there's a lot of stuff of like, oh, you get married, you're together for a while, you do like marriage counseling could be helpful. Couples therapy if you're together for, if you really care about the person, you want to make things work. I think for them, they just felt, or at least Jen felt so much pressure to make the relationship work because it's her story. It's her Bachelorette season. But they're clearly just not meant to be. Like couples therapy after 2 months is unheard of. You just break up with the person or you talk to them. I was thinking of getting a therapist. I don't know specifically like what I need it for, but that's not the point, right? Just to yap to somebody. Obviously, I should. I don't know. Just based on what my life is, I feel like a therapist would be good. My therapist ghosted me. That's wild. I don't mean to laugh. That's brutal. Like that's wild though. Yo, Mr. Playa. How are you, Mr. Play and C? What's going on? First time chat. How long have you been subbed? Oh, just 1 month? Subbing before chatting is badass. I love that. Wait. Actually, good thought. Should I have a therapist or should I just talk to chat? Because you guys are free. I actually make money talking to you guys. What do we think? Nice, Playa. Definitely a therapist. See, you guys don't believe in yourself. What I should do... Wait. Brain blast. What I should do is get a therapist and do my sessions on stream. Wait a damn minute. Hit up Dr. K. I have a friend who wants to work for Dr. K. I saw Kevin Martin do that. That's funny. Doesn't BB pay for a therapist or is it too late? I think it's like a year thing. But like I don't think people take advantage of that really. She's been there forever, the doctor, very nice lady. I worked at a therapy. I'm joking. I'm not gonna replace a therapist with chat. Just so we're on the same page. I'm just messing around. You know me. BetterHelp sponsorship incoming. I would not feel comfortable promoting BetterHelp. Something rubs me the wrong way about that service. The commodification of mental health in that way is like Uber, but I don't think that's good. They had a whole cancellation years ago. Okay, are they still around? These feeds going crazy. Let's go. Yeah. They've been lit. This is okay. Y'all want to make a bet? How long do you think the live feed update goes tomorrow? What's the prediction? 27, 45, 35, 37. I think this is going to be my first 30 to 41. I don't know if we make it to 40 minutes. Because I think the most important conversations of the day that I've saw was Cam and Chelsea talking about the vote. Cam saying I'm not doing it, and then them kind of convincing Mackenzie, and then Mackenzie talking about blindsiding. Blindsiding Angela and Leah. That's kind of everything that happened, right? Your updates are always the shortest. I don't think that's true at all. I think like I stretched the updates out to be kind of longer than they should be. Like my days are very boring, but I think I yap a bit more. Has there been a good Tuesday on feeds? No, I think we've had the worst day every week. I think truly every week. So this one was 47 minutes last week. This one was 55 minutes, 47 minutes, 57, 51, 48. They're always the same. Compared to everyone else. Okay. Well, the starts, they're all longer. So it's like hour 14, hour 3, 53, 58, hour 20, 55, hour 9. It's kind of hard to say. I think even if they're a little bit shorter, I think I make them longer than they would be otherwise. You know what I mean? I think that's right. When Taryn is solo, they're way shorter. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's just natural. How do mine do viewer wise? I think it's probably right in line with all the other ones, right? They're all like the same. Yeah. They're all the same. Just curious. I will say last year's updates did better, though. Last year's live feed updates just did better. It's very interesting. I think everyone agrees that this season is better, but I do think the BB25 feeds were better. It's kind of hard to argue against that at all. And I think almost all across the board, people were more invested in Big Brother 25. Even when the season got terrible, I think people cared more about will like Blue or America win HOH than they care about anything this season. And I think it's obviously like a silly thing to bring up in this chat because you guys are all sitting here watching a player from last season's stream, so you guys are not an unbiased sample. But I do think it's true. Like this season, I think people are way less attached to their faves. There's a lot of T-Core diehards, and there's a lot of like Mackenzie people, some Angela people, but like I don't think there's really Chelsea diehards like that. Like a lot of people like Chelsea. I think people like Cam too, but it's not Cam diehards. I don't think there's that many Leah diehards. You know what I mean? Like Quinn has a lot for sure. That comes with having a lot of haters. Twitter's just always going to trend in a more toxic direction. I'm kind of disappointed how my Twitter feed is working these days because I feel like there's more like Big Brother Twitter drama than there is Big Brother Twitter discussion and updates and stuff. I don't care for like the accounts' relationships with each other. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm here to follow these accounts so they can comment on the show. David Muir? Really? There's a Leah and Quinn talk. I mean, it's just like, this is just not the person Quinn needs to talk to right now. I do kind of hate when people do this, and I don't blame Leah. She's not playing Quinn here by any means, but like, when you make someone comfort you for something that you kind of caused, which again, Leah didn't cause this for Quinn, but like, I feel like this happens a lot where like Leah does something and then the other person's comforting her. It happens with Angela all the time, but people have stopped doing it for Angela, which I find very funny. But I think Taryn is exactly right about Quinn. Quinn needs to go on a Leah hate tour tomorrow. I think that's the only path forward. She's crying. No, I feel for her. I'm very curious about how their relationship's going to be after the house, because I think they've gotten close. And I don't mean in terms of like being together. Like, that's not what I mean. But like, whether they'll be friends. Because I think Quinn is obviously one of the most forgiving people we've seen on Big Brother. Like, he lets all this stuff roll off his back. But, you know, like, I don't know. It's going to be hard to, it'll be hard to see. I think ultimately, like, Leah's sister is going to be like, Leah, Quinn's cool. Quinn's a nice guy. You know what I mean? I really enjoy Leah's sister's social media. I think she's great. I think she's like, because like Joseph's brother is very funny too, but like, I think she is very authentic to like, this is exactly what it probably feels like for a Big Brother fan on Twitter. It's not like she's tweeting to try to get engagement. She's just Leah's sister and she's on Twitter. You know what I mean? King, I think Quinn's been very respectful of boundaries since, like, she made it clear. Like, I think, obviously, like, you don't want to, I don't know. I get what you're saying, though. Would you forgive Leah if it was you? I don't think I'd have beef, but I don't think I'd be friends, necessarily. I think for me, there's so many people in the world. Why am I going to be friends with someone who said some mean stuff about me? You know, there's so many people. Yeah, no, I agree, King. Why is Leah crying? Quinn's the one on the block. I mean, why is America crying? Cory's going home. You know what I mean? Like, it is just emotional, the game. Different situation, I know. But, like, it is just emotional. I don't blame her too much. I think it's like, you know. I feel for her. Yeah, I think she's drained. I think her emotion for the most part comes from, I ruined my game. Like, my game's over. I used the veto on Angela. Angela fucked me over, and now my two closest allies are gone. Quinn had a big hand in Joseph leaving, but it's just a disaster for Leah. So bad. And I know she's like, oh my god, everyone on the outside thinks I'm an idiot. I think Leah cares a lot about perception, which everyone does, but I think you can see it more obviously in some than others. I think it's very clear how much Leah cares. I also think it's very clear how much Chelsea cares. I think they're the two people who kind of play to the cameras the most. At least on the feeds. On the show, it's Tucker, obviously. I think Rabina does it a little bit too on the feeds. Chelsea pretending we don't know who wins veto and stuff. Yeah. First of all, do you guys miss me fucking telling y'all who won the veto and who was picked for the draw and what the competition was? Damn. We were waiting to see who won OTEV, and I was like, this is so fucking annoying. And then I saw some tweets being like, remember when Cory used to? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, damn, I didn't realize how great. Like, obviously, I watched feeds before, but like watching it now, it's like, damn. I remember I did it with Bowie once. We were describing Zingbot and all the zings. How do you know when feeds were back? Cameras would be following you a little bit. I mean, cameras follow you all the time, even when you're off feeds, because they need the footage in case it goes into the episode. But usually you know about when feeds come back on. Like, it's not like you're in the house for a while before feeds go off. Usually it's like, you know, I don't know, you just kind of feel it out. And sometimes I was wrong, probably, but... That's how you know none of these people watched feeds. I don't say that. Like, doing what I did's weird. Like, I think most feeders wouldn't think about doing that. Think Rabina looks like Bretman Rock? I really don't. I think it's a crazy comparison. I vividly remember you telling the feeds when you told the Cam didn't get picked to play veto. I think that was like out because the double eviction was very stressful because after I won, I didn't even know if Jared was getting evicted. Matt winning that veto, I felt really, really good. But I think the happiest moment of the entire house for me might have been that veto draw. Like, it just went so well. Like, the veto draw was Jag Matt America. Like, are you kidding me? It's like House Kids Choice, Matt America. Or something like that. That was crazy. You're talking about my word ranking game, my word tier list? That was fun. I love the way the feeds covered that. Very creative camera work. When Cam lost not a winner, they were celebrating. What a weird thing to celebrate. There was like 13 people in the house. You're thinking of Sweaty Scrimmage. Yeah, you're thinking of Sweaty Scrimmage. Okay. Yeah, that was tight. It was such a bad move for both of them. Worst move for Jared, obviously. And I get it, but come on. Such a bad move. No, I think the best day of live feeds had to be the Izzy flip. I don't think anything got close to that. The Izzy flip and then the fight. That was kind of crazy. 2 days in a row of insane feeds. What a life. I think some of those week 3 feeds are probably good too. The whole like, are we back during Heisem? Are we not? Back and forth all days. Most entertaining was Yellow Dress Night. You freak. You freak, Carson. Wasn't y'all's first kiss today on feeds? How do y'all know this thing? How do you guys know this stuff? That's crazy. Is that right? September 10th? It's about right, yeah. That 6th week. You see it on Twitter, I assumed. I'm going to go tell America and act like I just knew it myself. Speaking of, I'm going to end stream. We're gonna be live tomorrow night to do my Survivor predictions. So stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. I'm here. Oh, Lunar. Poor soul. I'm be back tomorrow for Survivor, so I'm not gonna prepare a presentation. We're just gonna look at all the stuff together.